Hey everyone, Luke Forpini, the Cash Consigliere here. I'm going to do a slightly different video to what you guys are used to. Everyone that follows me on my different platforms. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you will realize that I've been doing some book reviews on the books that I've been reading, and I realized that these could actually make good YouTube videos where you can see the books that I've been reading, and maybe you could decide for yourself, this is a good book for me, I should have a look into it. So for those of you that don't know, I am a financial planner. I obviously help people plan ahead, not just with money, but with their life. So the book that I've recently read actually perfectly aligns with this, and that's why I decided to use this as the first book. And the book is Your Next 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy, and it's by Patrick Bet-David, or PBD as most of you will know him. Those that follow me will know I'm very keen on PBD. I consume and share his content a lot, and I just think that his values align a lot with mine, and that's why I like to look at his content. But let's get into the review. So what is this book all about? Now, this book is not just for people like me, financial advisors, or if you're an entrepreneur or CEOs. This is for anyone who's looking for a strategy on how to navigate through life. So PBD challenges us to think like the grandmasters of chess, who they don't just think about their next move. Okay, I'm going to move this piece from here to here. They're already thinking of what their 15th move down the line is going to be. They're anticipating their opponent's response as well. So now PBD challenges us to think like them by mastering our next 5 moves. So it's a lot more easier than 15, but maybe you're good enough to do 15. If you learn all these rules, you can essentially get to that point in the future. So the first move that he wants us to master is knowing ourselves. Now, this is very important. This is where we determine what are our values, what are our goals, what drives us. Because if we don't know this about ourselves, we're unfortunately always going to play someone else's game. But when we understand this, we can play our own game and we can influence people around us, which is what we want to do at the end of the day. So now this takes us to the second rule, which is mastering reasoning. This is how we process information, how we make our decisions. This is coming up with strategic ways of not just reacting to something that happens with our emotions, but having an actual plan in place that should a problem arise, you know how you tackle it. You've got a system in place. I've got to do X, Y, Z and almost to finish that problem. So that's the second move. The third move is building the right team. No one's ever made it in life without a support team around them. Whether you're an athlete, a CEO, even entrepreneurs who are sole proprietors, they still need people that work for them. They've got an accountant, they've got a tax person, they're going to have a lawyer if they've got any issues like that. They've got admin staff. They've got people that are around them, supporting them to complement your skills, your knowledge, and cover your blind spots for you. So once you've established all of these 3 moves, we now go into the 4th move, which is strategy to scale. This is where the average players become great players. This is where we level up. We've mastered ourselves. We know how to process information. We've got our support team, but now we're looking at how do we make different moves now? How do we become bigger? And once we've done this, we now move on to the 5th move, which is mastering power plays. Now, this might sound like we're manipulative or something like that, but it's not like that at all. This is just understanding how we're going to use our influence, our leverage, and timing these moves as well. How do we use our influence? Leverage, I don't mean like debt, but it's when you're in a deal, one person always has leverage over the other one, and it's the person that actually needs the deal the least. But now, if you've got the leverage, how do you use it? And now you've got all these moves, when to time them. That's how we master our power plays. So those are the 5 moves that the book essentially talks about. What I love about the book as well is that it's not just abstract theory. PBD actually gives you formulas and strategies to put in place. Like I mentioned earlier, if problems arise, how to solve them. In the appendix of the book, he's got a personal identity audit, which I encourage everyone to do if you read this book. It's 25 questions about yourself. It'll be things like, in hard times, who do you go to? Those sort of questions. When you do all 25 questions, there is a good chance you might get emotional at some point, so just prepare for that as well. He's also got a solve for X formula sheet, which will make a lot more sense once you've read the book, but that basically helps you solve your problems. So when he uses his equations, X is always the problem. So how do we solve that? By solving X. Now, whether you're leading a company, if you're a sales leader, if you want to start your own company, if you want to be an entrepreneur, so you want to take on more work within your company, or like I said earlier, if you're just looking to navigate through life and relationships, I highly recommend reading this book. I think you will learn a lot from it, and this will challenge you to think bigger, plan bigger and smarter. That's the more important thing. And this will allow you to know your next move before life forces it on you, as I mentioned earlier as well. So if you're interested in this book, I highly recommend you go read it. And once again, guys, thanks for watching this video. I would appreciate your support if you could like and share the video, and let me know what your next move is in the comments. Maybe you've got some other books that you would recommend for me to read, and I can do that and then do a review as well. Or maybe ask some questions about the book and I'll be happy to respond. So thanks for watching, guys.